Hello everyone, this is Binkabi bringing you a M14 Draft. I'm gonna do Swiss today because that was the shortest queue and I don't have that much time, so hopefully it will fire off in a second. I've done like 2 M14 drafts so far, so I'm not familiar with the format at all. But I will be doing my best, and hopefully we will open something sweet and we can take it from there. Liliana of the Dark Realms. I have a hard time thinking that a Planeswalker could be bad, but I don't think she's that expensive. Let's see. No. So if we wouldn't take the Liliana, what would we take? Like Spore Mound is okay. Giant Growth and Deathgaze Cockatrice is like the best cards in here. This is a very weak pack overall. Disperse is pretty good. Darksteel Ingot. So depending on what our neighbor to the left picked first, he might consider like the Disperse or Giant Growth, and hopefully he will pass this a bit longer and doesn't take it as a signal that black is open. So yeah, Liliana is okay. She could be just an expensive removal spell, but the Witch, you say, and some decent red cards and some decent green cards. And a Tied by the Mage foil, which I already have one in foil. I like the Witch quite a bit. If you pick it up early, you can build around it and go like black-red sacrifice theme. So what did our neighbor take? Like an uncommon, like hopefully not Doomblade. I'm not sure how much I want to commit to this. I believe the black signal is much weaker than the red. And I think it's between the Volcanic Geyser and the Chandra's Outrage. And in my experience, this one is a bit better. Unless you can like get a ton of mana, which we probably can. So I think I'm gonna go with the Volcanic Geyser just because I think it's a better card and a better signal. Okay, we got a Cockatrice, a Pitchburn Devils, and a Tenacious Dead. I think for now I will skip this, even though it's pretty good. Maybe that's just wrong. I like the sacrifice deck quite a bit. But the Cockatrice is very good too. I think that's what I'm gonna take. He's just very solid. I like the Pitchburn Devils too, but the Cockatrice I think is a bit better. So that's what I'm gonna take. Ooh, a Phantom Warrior. That's something I really like. I don't like the red cards and there's no black cards, so I don't feel too bad picking up the Phantom Warrior here. Maybe go blue-black control. Something like that. Okay, a Rootwalla. That's a very good green card. And we have an Illusionary Armor, which is pretty strong. And Sharding Griffin, Dawnstrike Paladin. Cancel, perhaps. I think the Rootwalla is the best card here. And we haven't seen that much black. But I don't like blue-green. I like red-green though. But I don't think we want this right now. I think we're gonna take the Illusionary Armor for now. That's a very late Water Servant, I think. I think this card is really good, actually. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Water Servant. Blue seems fairly open. there's a Messenger Drake. If I would have taken like the Witch and the Tenacious Dead, I would be happy picking up the Corpse Holder here, but I think the Messenger Drake is just a lot better. There's a Festering Newt, and I think I'm gonna pick that one up actually. The Recluse is much better, but I don't think we're going into green at this point. And it's a solid 1-drop, trading with their 2/2s. I'm not a very big fan of Spell Blast, but I'm also not a big fan of Wild Rebirth. If we do get some sacrifice theme going, this could be okay. No, I'm just gonna pick up the Spell Blast, even though I don't like it. Okay, so we didn't wheel the Witch, which not too surprising there. So it's between Altar Sweep and Dark Favor. We're not gonna play the Volcanic Geyser at this point. Dark Favor on Phantom War is quite good, and the Water Servant. I think it's better than the Altar Sweep anyway. And here we have nothing. Guess we can pick up the Stonehorn Chant. Not seeing myself playing this, so Lavax could be okay. Yeah, black dried up very fast, but we got a bit of good blue cards pretty late, like the Water Servant, Messenger Drake. So we have a pretty solid foundation, I think. Of course, I'm much more inclined to be heavy black than having black as my second color because of like Quag Sickness and cards like that. But we'll see what we'll go from here. Maybe we'll open something insane and shift colors to back to red or something. So let's see what we get. I wonder if it's worth it. You can fetch basic swamps, which is pretty strong. Witch Shulker, nah, that wasn't really what I was thinking about. So no blue cards and possibly a black card. Question is if it's just better to go with the red. I mean, 2 Volcanic Geysers gotta be pretty good. Or just chalk. I'm not too fond of the Nightwing Shade, but it is decent. We didn't ship much black, so maybe we will get something back now. We didn't see like any red at all, so I think I'm just gonna stick with my black. We get past the Shiv's Embrace, and a Ratchet Bomb, and a Pacifism. And I guess we will take, a Curse Spirit. That could be our pick actually. We're getting pretty heavy on the 4 mana slot as it is like right now. I can't imagine Ratchet Bomb being that expensive, right? No, it's worth nothing. Question is, if we want it, it's quite good. And as for now, we don't have that many low drops. Maybe it's better than another Water Servant or a Cursed Spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We won't wheel much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Ratchet Bomb actually. Ooh, Mind Control. And a Fire Trigger and a Divination. I like Divination. But I think here it's the Domestication, pretty clearly. So I'm kinda happy we took the Ratchet Bomb, since we're getting more 4-drops now. There's another Festering Newt, and a Divination, and a Dragon Egg. And a Bailoff. How many spells do we have? Like 0. Yeah. I think it's the divination or the newt. And I do like drawing cards, so divination it is. Here we go, corrupt. How many swamps will we have as it is right now? Like 7 in our deck, possibly. Is it better than the Messenger Drake or the Seacoast Drake? We are pretty top heavy already. Perhaps it's better to grab one of the low drops. I like Corrupt though. I think I'm gonna go with the Seacoast Drake actually. He's a pretty good blocker and could chip in for some damage. He's better than Coral Merfolk and I don't need a Messenger Drake. Maybe we won't play this. No, I'm gonna go with the Corrupt. It's just so strong. So here I think it's the Corpse Hauler. This Missing to Dream is pretty strong, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's really not enough. I don't like it that much. I think Corpse Hauler is something we actually want for this deck. Another Root Vala. I hope people understand how good Root Vala is. Okay, so it's like negate. That's the only card. So not much to talk about there. Here I think I'm just gonna snap the giant spider. So we don't have to face it. I guess Glimpse is okay as a 23rd card or something like that. We will roll through in. I don't think we're gonna play it, but I won't play any of the other cards anyway, so Shrivel perhaps. We will pick up Dark Chaomancer on the wheel. So we got a Spell Blast for it. That's about it. We'll a Coral Merfolk, which we will play as it is now. So we don't have that much that dies to the Shrivel actually. But I still think it's more like a sideboard card. So I think this is the cards I could consider playing right now. I mean, Corpse Hauler is just so much value. He gets in for a couple of damage and then he gets back like Phantom Warrior or something like that. So we need some more creatures, and I wouldn't say no to like a Doomblade or something like that. We are shifting more towards black now, which I kinda like. Makes it possible to pick up Quag Sickness and other good removal spells. Nightmare. Sweet. I wouldn't be sad to see like this and this if I had gone the witch route. But now it's like Nightmare or Trained Condor. And even though we're pretty top heavy, Nightmare is just way too good. And gives me a real reason to play more swamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we will wheel anything out of this pack either. There's just not, or of course we will wheel some cards, but nothing that we really want. Nightmare sweet. And a giant whale. I'm not sure if Corpse Hauler is straight up better, but the whale is pretty good. So I think I'm gonna snap it up. Now all I'm looking for is ways to stall the game until I can drop like one of these. Junk Pyromancer, he's pretty good. So here it's like another Messenger Drake or a Disperse. And I do think Messenger Drake is better than the Disperse, actually. Could take the Minotaur Abomination too, but I think the Messenger Drake is just better. Disperse is good in this format, I think, since there's a lot of enchantments and other stuff. But I'm not picking it over a Messenger Drake. Scroll Thief, he will do excellent. But there is a Quag Sickness. I think we're gonna be like 10-9 at this point, so Quag Sickness would at least be like 3. Yeah. It's just too good. So this is shaping up quite nicely. Oh, I like Ringflesh. And it's like the only card for us except maybe Dress. Shortcutter is pretty good. Predator Sliver would be very good. Ringflesh it is. Any late gifts for me? Pretty please. A Divination? Or a Cancel. I like Cancel in corsets, but it's hard to pass up as such an easy 2-for-1. Ooh, Gnawing Zombie. How many creatures do I have to sacrifice? Not that many. But we could like snag something with this and sacrifice it if we have to. It's the only card except Negate. And I already have one, so I don't want it anymore. Okay, so Nightwing Shade or Ringflesh. That's the two options for us. And I'm not sure I want another Nightwing Shade. But now it's getting time to cut, and I think the Dark Favor is the first one to go. So another big flyer or another kind of removal spell. Leaning towards the kind of removal spell, which could turn our Chaomancer into something we could actually play. Oh geez, we will both the card I was looking at. So do we want the flyer? He doesn't have that many things he could jump. Actually, like the whale. But we don't have that much synergy with the Bloodbrain either. It's like the Newt and Domestication. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the flyer. Another Rod of Ruin or Encroaching Wastes. I guess I'm never gonna play two of these, or should I snag the Trollhide? Yeah, I think I'm gonna snag the Trollhide. There we go, we can take the Wastes now in case someone opened like Mutable or something. Here we actually get a choice, but since we have a Spell Blast and a Negate, I'm gonna pick a Duress. And another Shrivel. And a Swamp Staff. Yeah, so this deck looks okay. I would have preferred to get like a Doomblade or something, but obviously it's uncommon now instead of common, and people still like to pick them up and play them. But I think we did alright. Just gonna put in all cards I could consider playing. Something like this. So this is our spell count at. Something like this. So how many targets do the Archaeomancer have as of now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's enough. But we have to cut some cards, and I think I want all the creatures. Maybe not the Cancrix, but he's pretty good at blocking. So I think I'm gonna run with him as well. The illusionary armor doesn't feel like an auto included in this deck. I mean, you could put it on the Phantom Warrior or the Condor or the War Servant and smack him around. Maybe that's worth it. It is pretty good. I think I'm gonna move the rest to the sideboard at least. I would prefer not to play the Spell Blast. That leaves 5 targets for the Archaeomancer. I still think that's enough. So 2 more cards. I guess it's like the Cancrix, the Armor. Guess the Corn Merfolk. I think that's the weakest cards. So we need to put 1 more card in. What do we want? Do we want the Cancrix, the Merfolk, or the Armor? Trying to decide how long we're gonna live. I mean, we only have 2 2-drops and 1 1-drop at the moment, but we have some removal. But we have nothing at 3 that will help us stabilize the board either, so I'm leaning towards the Coral Merfolk. That could lead to some aggressive starts as well. And so far the Cancrix has been pretty mediocre to me since they used to fly over him. That's not something I'm too fond of. That leaves us with a pretty decent sideboard actually. Got some more aggressive cards, some removal cards, and a disruption package. And a Road of Ruin, if you would like that. No, this should be here. There we go. I think this is what I'm gonna go with. So, what do you suggest? 8-9. Since almost all of the blue cards are single blue except for 4 or 5 drops, I think I'm gonna go with 1 more Swamp instead. It's also better to power up the Cog Sickness, give Liliana more targets, and for the Nightmare. So I think that will be enough.